Okay, so this is the tools that we're going to require to begin this journey and begin these next 4 lessons. First thing we need are scissors. Second thing we need is comb. The third thing we need, 8 clips. We need a water spray to keep the hair wet while working. A protective cape to cover your client. A cutting collar if you have one, if you're using it for a live model. Keeps it nice and neat and clean around the back when you're working. A towel to dry the hair down if it gets too wet. A mirror if you're working, it's always good if you can work with a mirror. A chair, preferably one that you can gas pump and lift up to your eye level. If you've not seen that, you can check out online. It's like a hairdressing chair, they always pump up. It's always basic to do that for your posture, helps with your back. If you've got that, that's great. If you're not going to be working with a live model, then that's when we need one of these things. So we're going to be using the stand and a dummy head on top. And this is a great thing to work with. So we don't need the chair and we don't need a person, and we just need one of these. And this is what we're going to use to go through our process and through the 4 stages that I'm going to introduce you to as we go. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go a little bit more in depth of the tools and let you see exactly why we use the tools that we use. Okay, so the first tool we're going to discuss is our scissors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you hold scissors to begin with. Finer details about scissors will go on a later date, but for the moment this is basically just how to use your blades properly. Pick up some really nice habits now if you've never cut hair before. If you do cut hair and you don't use these techniques, try and use them. Try and practice this little technique. Helps with so much better control. Again, just a little change of thought, how we might be doing things in the salon or how we might cut hair right now. It's nothing wrong with what you're doing. This is just maybe a different form of thinking, just to sharpen things up again. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take our scissors and we're going to take our 4 fingers and our 3rd finger we're going to put in here, and the other 2 are going to lie at the front, and the 4th finger will be on this little pinky rest. Now most scissors nowadays have this little pinky rest. It's great for balance. Okay, so this is our blade. What we're going to do is we're going to put our thumb in the blade, and the first thing you're going to practice is very simple. You're just going to open, you're just going to open the blade and hold the blade. Open the blade, hold the blade. Just nice and safe, just get into that rhythm any way you want. Just move the blade around, just get a feel. Now if you wonder what kind of scissors you should get, try your best to try around scissors, get a feel for them. The length of scissors is just completely up to you. What you prefer to use weight-wise, or some people prefer a long shear, some people prefer the short ones. It's entirely up to you. First and foremost, get something that's comfortable in your hand. If you've got quite small hands, you don't want a giant blade. So just get a feel for different blades, and when you're in the store or someone's coming around showing you different blades that you can use and the blades that you can buy, then just have a look at them all and just see what you fancy yourself. And then affordability, I mean, you could pay thousands of pounds, dollars, euros for scissors, and you could pay 15. They won't last very long, clearly, but if you're just starting out, don't break the bank. I would say 50 euros, $50, £50 will get you a decent pair of scissors to begin with, especially if you're cutting one of these to begin with, these doll heads, because the hair isn't really good, so you blunt the scissors quite quickly. So it's always good to just use like a cheaper blade to begin. As I say, if you're a seasoned hair cutter, you've already got the blades that you like and you love, and the ones that you used to, the ones that you're used to, etc. So we're going to go back to that little routine of open and close, open and close. Just keep working that, okay? Just keep working that and just getting a feel for that blade. A few things that you need to practice with your blade also, and I always used to say, well, I always do say to students, when you've got your scissors for your first time and you go home, if you're sitting watching TV, pop the blade on your finger, very simply, and just with the thumb, open and close. Just with your thumb. Okay? Just that. Simple. And then once you get more comfortable, you may be able to speed it up a little bit. Just keep that thumb moving. Keep the top hand up. You would basically say this is the bottom blade. So we want to keep this steady, and all we want to do is move the thumb. Complete control of the blade, just the thumb. Okay? Practice that. Just keep doing that. close, do a few just with the thumb, close, just the thumb, keep it comfortable but keep practicing. Just do it, takes maybe half an hour a day, just keep doing it and eventually you will just get the control and you'll see why you need that control in a moment, okay? Scissors. Second thing we need is a comb for control. Very, very simple. You use a comb, one that you feel comfortable with. Size-wise, why has it got big teeth? Why has it got little teeth in a very basic form? If you're cutting someone with quite thick hair, use the wide teeth. If you're cutting someone with quite fine hair, use the fine teeth, because that will just help give control of that natural hair to begin, okay? There's other reasons we'll go on later on. This is the beginning of your journey, so this is your comb. This is what you need. For the 4 basic principles that you're going to learn, the maximum you'll need is 8 clips. You need 8 section clips. Very simply, this is what they do. So we twirl up a ponytail and we will seal that onto the head with these clips. Okay, so just feel they're all about the same tension, they're more or less all the same. So now what you're going to do, you're going to have both in your hand. So again, you've been practicing. Where we keep our comb when we're cutting hair, we keep it here, and by the thumb. Okay, that simple. So basically, we will hold the comb, and on our finger, where we'll be holding the hair, will be between these 2 fingers. And because you've been practicing just the thumb only, you're going to look and you're going to put the blade, the bottom blade, on your middle finger in line with that gap, and you're just going to slowly control and close that cut. Now, this knuckle area here, when you're cutting hair, try not to be tempted to go all the way in here, because when you go all the way in here, you may cut this area and it just nips. So just try and keep the control here. Then, once you feel confident with that, you're going to turn your hand, and again on the opposite side, but this time you're going to line up with your first finger, and really don't go any further than your knuckle. As I said before, you go cutting up here, you'll cut yourself. And generally speaking, if you want to stop cutting yourself, you have to cut yourself once. And then you go, because it's so hasty when you're cutting hair and it nips, you know, because the hair goes in and it's like, so just nice, controlled cuts. Okay, mindful cuts, always mindful cuts. So when you have the head, and you have whatever head you're working on, just by combing through the hair, combing in lines, combing in sections, and just get used to holding the hair, working, looking what it does, comb the hair back, you know, just have a feel for everything that the hair does. Start to practice holding the hair in your fingers, just combing through. There's no need for worrying about anything other than just being able to do it, okay? Holding it through. And then, for example, if you could just find the section up on top and just hold it, comb it forwards, comb it towards you, and just get into these rhythms of pulling the hair in different ways, maybe even try and split that section in 2, you know? Just get a feel, start working through the hair. If it starts to tug up and the hair starts tugging up, and getting all matted and knotted, always work from the bottom with the comb and work your way up. Never try and get these mats out from the top, because you just tighten up the knots as you push it into the bottom, so always work from the bottom and work your way up. If you shampoo and condition the hair really, really well, generally speaking, the comb will just glide through. You should always comb through the conditioner on anyone's hair, just to get the hair ready and prepared for what you're going to do with the haircut. So what we're going to also have to understand is a little bit of terminology. Again, this is very basic terminology around the head, how we describe things as hair cutters, where we like things positioned, so we know in our head, this is where we start, this is where we end, and you keep that same rhythm going all the time. Especially if you've never cut hair before, get these practices in your head now, and it'll be amazing. So, from this side, what we're going to look at, so we have our hairline that comes round. This is the centre of the hairline at the front. Then we have the recession area. At the nape of the neck, we call this the nape, and at the back of the neck is the nape of the neck. And to find the front and the back when we're deciding what's the front and the back when we're cutting hair, a nice little guide is when you come up someone's natural hairline up the back behind their ear, at the point where it starts to curl round, so it's a bit like a candy cane, At the point where it starts to go round is the point which is the back of the haircut, and forward is the front of the haircut. And that area is going to be slightly different on everyone. But if you get these sectioning and always aim for these spots in people's haircuts while you're cutting hair, you will always get that same haircut and you'll get the same quality that you did the time before when you cut it, because you're going to the same anchor points all the time. It's really important. Then we have the crown, which is normally the highest point. And that highest point will generally always line up with the start of the candy cane where it curves. So we're always going to go, when we split it back from the front, we're always going to go from our candy cane to the crown. Okay? And when we do any kind of centre pattern, if we want to split the hair down the middle, we're going to go from the centre of the forehead, and we're going to come all the way back, then we'll cross over the crown, then we're going to come down the back, aiming for the middle of the nape. And a nice little way to do this is, if you just put your fingertip where the middle is, okay, this is what you do. This is where we want to end, this is where we want to end. So we can take our comb from the centre and we can come all the way down, find our fingertip, and then just split that hair, and that will give us a clean section. And then we'll section from here again, which you'll learn later. Now you know the tools that are required in order for us to begin cutting hair. So join me on the next episode, which is the first principle, the one length cut. Look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.